In this video, we are going to discuss about the sciatic nerve. Okay, over to the cadaver. Now, I hope you are able to orient yourself to the specimen. And this is the left lower limb. Here is a gluteal region with the gluteus maximus muscle exposed. And here is the back of thigh with the hamstring muscles exposed. Right? Now, the sciatic nerve is deep to the gluteus maximus muscle. So, we will reflect the gluteus maximus muscle and reflect it from its origin towards the insertion. Right? Now, you can see here the structures deep to gluteus maximus. This is the gluteus medius. Here is a piriformis. These are the two gemelli with the tendon, obturator internus tendon in between. And here is the quadratus femoris. These are the upper part of the adductor magnus muscle. Right. Now, this one is a sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve is the thickest nerve in the body. It arises from the sacral plexus inside the pelvis, and it comes out of the pelvis into the gluteal region by passing below the piriformis muscle. And here, if you see the course of the nerve runs downwards with a slight convexity to the lateral aspect, and then it passes into the thigh by passing deep to the lower border of the gluteus maximus muscle, and it runs in the thigh over the adductor magnus muscle, and at the upper angle of the popliteal fossa, it divides into its terminal branches, namely the lateral common peroneal nerve and the medial tibial nerve. This division corresponds almost to the upper 2/3 with the lower 1/3 of the thigh. And the sciatic nerve is having the root value of L4, 5, S1, 2 and 3. And it has got two components or two parts. The parts are the tibial part, medial tibial part, and lateral peroneal part. These two parts are held together by the connective tissue sheath around it. Tibial part of the sciatic nerve is derived from the ventral division of the ventral rami of L4-5, S1-2-3, whereas the peroneal component is derived from the dorsal division of the ventral rami of L4-5, S1 and 2. The two parts inferiorly we have seen dividing into its terminal branches. Now, if you see here over the sciatic nerve, you can see a blood vessel. This blood vessel is the artery which is derived from the inferior gluteal artery. This is the artery that accompanies the sciatic nerve. It is the arteria nervi ischiotic, and it is the original axis artery of the lower limb. Now, let's see the relations of the sciatic nerve. It lies on these structures successively from above. This bone which is seen here is the body of the ischium. It lies on the body of the ischium above. Then superior gemellus, tendon of the obturator internus, inferior gemellus, the quadratus femoris, and the adductor magnus. So all these structures form the bed for the sciatic nerve, and throughout its course in the leg, in the thigh, it lies on the adductor magnus muscle. What are the superficial relations of the sciatic nerve? You know that the nerve is under cover of the gluteus maximus muscle, so it is superficially related. And then in the thigh, if you see, it is crossed superficially or posteriorly by the long head of the biceps femoris muscle. This is the long head of the biceps femoris. And then, of course, here inferiorly, it is lying in the popliteal fossa. At the upper end, it divides into its terminal branches. The common peroneal nerve is under the cover of the tendon of the biceps femoris muscle. We will see the lower part, the course of the peroneal nerve and tibial nerve in the leg later on, in the later part of the dissection. Right. Now, what are the branches of the sciatic nerve? The sciatic nerve gives off branches to the hamstring muscles, the muscle which is taking origin from the ischial tuberosity. Mainly from the tibial part of the sciatic nerve, the hamstring muscles are supplied. And you can see the branches of the sciatic nerve. It gives off superiorly a branch to the articular branch to the hip joint, and then muscular branches to all these muscles. And you can see a branch coming from in the gluteal region itself to the hamstring muscle, a muscular branch to here is another muscular branch, and here you can see, and then also you can see branches to this muscle and branch to the adductor, hamstring part of the adductor magnus. And look, you can appreciate all these branches are coming from the medial side of the sciatic nerve, that is from the tibial part of the sciatic nerve. Only one branch coming from the lateral aspect, that is to the short head of the biceps. Here is the short head of the biceps, that is derived from the peroneal component of the sciatic nerve. Otherwise, all the nerves. So, the lateral aspect of the sciatic nerve is a safe area, and because all the other muscular branches are coming from here, so the surgeons can use this plane for a safe surgery. Let's see of course, the clinical anatomy, the sciatica, will be explained by my colleague. And at this point, I must tell you one clinical aspect, that here you can see a small segment of the sciatic nerve is seen at the angle between the lower border of the maximus, gluteus maximus, and the long head of biceps. So it is unprotected. It is not covered by any muscles or anything. So this part can be temporarily compressed when you are sitting on a hard object, say edge of a chair, which causes the paresthesia in the lower limb. The condition is known as the sleeping foot. So this is compression of the sciatic nerve over this area by any hard object, that is the edge of the chair, causing sleeping foot. With this, we come to the end of the dissection of sciatic nerve. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Sciatica is a condition which is caused by compression of the lower lumbar and upper sacral nerve roots or due to pressure over the sacral plexus. In this condition, the patient experiences radiating pain along the distribution of the sciatic nerve, that is pain over the posterior aspect of the thigh, posterior and lateral sides of the leg and lateral part of the foot. In extreme form of injury, there will be muscular weakness due to involvement of the muscles innervated by the sciatic nerve. In another condition, the sciatic nerve can be injured during posterior dislocation of the hip joint as it occurs during the dashboard injury in road traffic accidents. It leads to muscular weakness based on the division of the sciatic nerve which is involved. If the tibial part of sciatic nerve is involved, it can lead to muscular paralysis of the posterior compartment of the leg and the foot. And if the common peroneal component is also involved, it leads to muscular weakness of the anterior compartment of the leg that can lead to foot drop. Associated sensory disturbances may be there based on the involvement of the tibial nerve or common peroneal nerve.